going through a tutorial, the Ruby's Adventure one. But we finished that now, so I'm thinking we're gonna jump in and go for a game that I've been thinking of the past couple of days. Not streamed in a few days, which is unlike me, but yeah, I've been doing a lot of thinking, a lot of prep as well. Thinking about the project setup and my workflow a little bit and how I'm going to track my work and things like that. So there's been a little bit going on behind the scenes, and a little bit busy anyway, just in general outside of all this stuff. So, but yeah, we're going to give this a go. Probably going to be slow starting, but yeah, I think it's quite a simple idea, which I think you guys can also help develop. You'll see some of the things I'm coming up with, and hopefully have some input. So yeah, let's dive in. Let's go. So I've got this empty scene here, literally completely empty. I've set it up for mobile as well because this is going to be a 2D mobile game. Yeah, so the basis of the game is around essentially remembering. So it's a bit of a memory game, and it's also skill based. So you got to remember what color was presented to you, and then during the level you have to then stop a color that's rotating around on that color. So yeah, it's a bit hard to explain. So hopefully I can dive in and get some of this stuff and show you exactly what I mean. Also, yeah, so I've also set myself up with a little Trello board here. So a lot here in the to-do list. I have also just set up the empty project in the Git repo, but that's about it. I was tempted to use the. Let me just zoom in. I don't know if you can even see that. The collab thing, the Unity collab, but I've read a few mixed things on the internet about it, so I'm gonna stick with Git because it's kind of my workflow that I would normally use anyway. So, and yeah, we'll go from there. Cool. All right, here we go. Just double check something. So here we go. So we got this empty level. Let me just turn that down. I'm going to start with, so if we look back on here, so in progress, create a background with a continuously change color. All right, so I'm going to jump in and do that. I'm going to try and do this piecemeal. It's how I normally do all my development work, so I think I may as well stick to that. I have set this up to be, so I've chosen, so the aspect ratio, 1920 by 1080. Not entirely sure what you're supposed to use for mobiles these days. I assume it should probably be higher, but I don't know. So I've just gone with 1920 by 1080 for now in portrait, because this game is only really going to work in portrait mode. So that's the basics. Okay. So what do we need to add? New game object. 2D sprite. And so I've just created an asset here, and I start trying to set up my assets folders and things like that. So I've just got this 1x1 sprite thing here. Single sprite mode type. Yep. So if we stick that there. The reason I've done this is, one, it was one of the only ways I could figure out how to do this. So yeah, that was the main thing. The other thing is I want to be able to change the color, which is what we're going to do in a script. But so I'll just set it to an actual color for now. In fact, no, we're going to keep it as white because that's what's going to be easiest to work with. But we do want to, so let's do that 200. Just 200. Back to the scene. Yeah, so now we can see at least. Right, so we're just going to fill here the whole of the camera view. And that should be that bit. Nope, no it shouldn't, because that's not showing up. X, Y, draw mode, Z is 0. Doesn't look like it's rendering at all. What if I change the color? On tag layer default. Let's see what it does there. Oh wow. Okay. Didn't mean to do that. Try like that. Nope, still not showing up. That is strange. Why is that not showing? Already hitting problems. Default sorting layer center 0. There we go. Okay, yeah. So I accidentally childed it to the main camera, and then it took the Z, so it was actually where the camera was, so you weren't actually seeing it. Because even though we're in 2D, it technically is 3D in terms of the camera's just set back by 10 on the Z-axis. Anyhow, so that's that. Let's rename this. Let's call it background or something. Background. Don't care. Background. And we'll set it back to white because we do want it to be white to begin with. Alright, so that's that. And what we want to do is create a new script. So new. I'm going to call this color change. Come on, open up. Okay, cool. So we have changed some stuff in here. So what we want to do first is get the sprite renderer. Get component. Equals that. And for now, what we're going to do is sprite.color. What's it called? Is it the American way of spelling color? Yes, it is. Where is it? Here we go. Get rid of that. Equals new vector 3. Let's go with 0. I assume, unless there's a, I'm not really sure on this actually. Let me go to back into Unity. Let's see how it works with the manuals. Here we go. Switch color. Define the vertex color of the sprite. See the color section below. And the effect of changing RGB values of the sprite. Yeah. What I want to know is color just a vector 3 or has it got its own thing? I guess it's a vector 4 anyway. Sprite, saw point. Don't really care about that stuff. I just want to know. Scripting API. Color. Represented RGBA. Yeah, so color. Okay. Convert to and from vector 4s. It's in the core module, so we don't have to do anything. So what we'll do is we can do. Okay. Yeah, that's what we'll do. For the first one, we'll set it to color dot green for now. Right, let's see if that works. So what do we need to do? We need to add this color change script to the background. It should just go to green. Right, cool. That bit works. And then back into here. So on update, we want to sprite color. Right, so it's RGB, so we want it as HSV values actually, because this is going to be much easier. RGB. Okay, we may have to Google this to figure out because I cannot see anything here that mentions. Aha, here we go. HSV to RGB and RGB to HSV. Hue saturation. Right, so what we might have to do is contain the hue saturation values ourselves in some 0 to 1. So the floats. If true, the return color will not be clamped to 0 and 1. Alright. Yeah. Underscore slider hue. Where's that? Where's slider? Oh, okay. A public slider. This is cool, this. We may just straight up swipe this off. Because this will be really useful. This is something I actually want to do, is be able to just quickly change these. So what we're going to do is take all this. I mean, this works right now because obviously it's so minimal. I don't like this. Hue, saturation, value. I've actually used this convention in the past, but I do not like it anymore. I'm going to attach them in the inspector window. Okay. And in fact, let's see what we're doing now. Descend to defaults. Min values 0 and 1. Surely the default to 0 and 1, right? Is that not going to be the obvious default? So we'll take this. I didn't actually know this was here. It's actually really super useful. So we'll take these. Oh, how'd you do this in this one? There we go. Go that. Max value is 1, min value is that. Then we want to set hue. Slider hue dot value. Then we'll copy paste that. And we want to do so hue saturation value. Was it value? Dot value, yeah. Underscore dot color. Maybe that is the way I was supposed to do it. I'm not sure what the difference would be, but maybe I wouldn't have had to have the sprite render that way. Right, we'll see anyway. We'll go with the way I've got it, and then we'll change it if this is not working. So what do we need to do? So for this to work, set to do that, and then sprite.color equals color from, what was the name of that? Color.hsv to RGB. And it takes H and S and V. Sweet, so we'll do that. Wow. That's annoying. Color dot. Hue saturation value. Right, and we're basically just doing this again each time. So we'll update, and what we're going to do is just hue shift plus equals time dot delta time, and then do. So by the time we get to update, we'd already have this. And And that, I believe, should work. What's it getting? Typo namespace slider cannot be found, and I assume that's because to use that you need to use a Unity Engine.UI. Okay, so does it fix it? Oh, what's this going? Field color change values never assigned to and will always have its default value of 0. Where is color change value? I may just sack this off for now. Oh. Oh, that'll be right. That was a good failure. That's an easy copy pasta error. HSV. Should now be sorted. I'm not sure how you're supposed to do this. Select slider. Okay. Using sliders, I don't even know. Attach them in the inspector window. What is a slider? Is it something I have to add? Let's go to the manual. How do I get one? I bet there's a package I'm missing or something. Window, package manager. These to create in-game user interface fast and intuitively. Panel buttons you can create. Yeah. What am I supposed to do here? Right, I'm missing something, so I need to figure out. Yeah. Public float. Okay. Let's have a quick look at this. If I can't figure this out straight away, then I shall be binning it off until I know. Maybe that's not the way to do it anymore then. Right, okay, we're going to bin this off for now. It's slowing us down unnecessarily, and we actually don't care about this all that much. So what we're going to do is have them as just colors for now. Yeah, we're not going to bother with the sliders. Instead, do it like this. Get rid of that. Public. Do it like that. Okay, so we're only going to hue shift. I've decided for now, right now anyway. So sprite color is that. Sprite color, hue saturation value. Yeah, so on every update, we're just going to increment the hue. So it should shift around the hue, which in HSV color scheme should essentially go right around here, is what I'm thinking. So let's give that a whirl. So we need to have some starting values. In fact, I am going to use Krita for picking this out, in fact. And how would I start with a red? Where do you get these values from? So they go like that. The question is, where are these values? RGB, I want it as HSV. Why am I not seeing that? Right. Advanced color selector. Why? Why is it doing this? RGB and alpha. I don't want that. Okay, right. We're not going to use that. Instead, we'll use some app. And we're going to... Yeah, so hue would essentially, as you can see, just go straight across like that. That's how it works. So we'll go with 0 because 0, 1, 1 on saturation view should be red, I think. Okay, yeah, let's go. So starting here, this thing, hue of 1, sorry, 0, of 1 and 1. This should be 0.5. Right, let's see what that does. Yeah, it's pretty quick. Obviously, it gets to black. That is the only thing, is it will get to black and then it'll stop because it'll just keep going higher and higher and higher. As you can see here, it's just going to 1 and it's just going to keep going. So I feel like this is when this range stuff comes in. Ranges. Range attribute. Right, I'm gonna add this on. Min max step. So this is like, yeah, this is just not what I want. We'll see if it works. Alright, so if we stick that on there, we'll make it 0 and 1. 0 and 1 for each of these. I don't know if that will fix this and make it wrap around again, but we'll see. I don't see how it would. Oh, look, it's got like a little bar now. Will it wrap? Will it wrap? No, it does not wrap. It just goes to black forever. And so this isn't the right way, but we're going to get it working. We're going to go for MVP. We're going to just get this thing working. Okay. And we're going to do it quick and dirty. We're just going to, if hue is higher than realistically, if it's more than 1, we should be subtracting 1 away from it and then adding that onto the hue of 0. But we just want to get this working for now. So we shall do this and see if this works. Yeah, this is the MVP for this little task, I would say. And it's not entirely how we want to do it anyway, so did that work? Okay, so looping around, and then when this gets to 1, it should go back to 0. Perfect. Awesome. Right, let's look at our little task tracker. So create a background which continually changes color. So, and then we're going to do some keyboard input for the next section. Create ingredient swapper, spawner. Okay, we can't do those yet. Stop color change on key release, that would probably be next after that. That's probably going to be higher than the slice functionality because currently I don't have the sprites for doing this other bits and bobs here. So, right, let's finish that off. So we've got that. That works. I'm pretty happy with that. Let's just twiddle it and see what it's like when we change hue and saturation. See what the colors are like. Yeah, that's pretty cool. Oh, we may do it like where we change this value, or in fact, probably saturation actually. In fact, no, you can't really do that. It's only really hue that this works for. Go around the color wheel. Because if you change value all the way down to black, all the way down to 0, it's just black no matter what the hue is. Same with saturation, it just goes grey. So I think it'd be a case of just modifying these slightly per level, and then just leaving the hue to do its thing. And we could do go really fast. Okay, sweet. Right, I'm happy with that. Start at 0. I'll stick them back up to that. So what we'll do now. Where's my terminal? Yeah. Let's just make this a little bit bigger. Let's see what's changed. A lot. Yeah. Okay. A lot of sayings that I don't know anything about. I don't think I need to know about that one. But what I do need to know about is get add asset scripts. Project settings, graphic settings. Wow. Look at that. We do want sprites too. Oh, let's just add it all the assets there. And what is in this VS Code thing? Okay. So we've staged all this. We got sprites. We got this little. Ooh, where have we got this from? So I don't know if I don't think we want those ones. Because if we go Assets, sprites. That's big. We don't want any of these. I should have got rid of this. That png.meta, I think, is from Unity. But these creator ones, we definitely want. Or we don't want. Is it HRT? Is that human readable? Yeah, so that's 29 kilobytes, which is it's not huge, but it's unnecessary. So I'm going to remove them. Cool. DDD. Delete it. So that delete should now have gone. New file, new file. Yep, sweet. Why is it called sample scene? I don't like that. Let's rename that. Sample scene. How do I rename it? Can you rename it? How do you rename a scene? Save scene, save as. Okay, I could do it there, I guess. Scenes, rename. Level, scene, reload. Save that. It's not like this. I've just. Is it going to handle the rename properly? Don't think it would. I don't know if. Yeah, no, it's just added and delete for that one. Yeah, okay. Git add. Modified. Project settings as well. Alright. I guess we got to do that as well. I'm not sure. Right. It's saying it's changed, but I'm not seeing where it has changed. Files to exclude. Right. I'm just going to add that as well. It's a bit slow at first. So these are just metadata for the folders I've added. Oh, it has renamed. Sweet. Renamed scripts. The new script added. Sprites. The PNG added. I guess all this metadata is how it imports into the Unity as well. So, and then a lot of settings that got changed that I had no idea what was on about, but we should probably have them. Okay. Oh, don't do that. Add a color changing background. Yeah, I think that's fine. And I'll just push it. Obviously, it'd be better to have code review on some of these things, but solo projects, that's just the way it works, right? Okay. Sweet. So now let's go to our little Trello thing. So create a background with continuous changes. Done. Start changing color on key down. Okay, so what are we thinking? Yeah, let's do this one as well. So here we go. Background. So we'll go back to that script again here. Color change. So instead now what we want to do is we only want to start the update. How do we want to do it? Is start off with that false. And what we actually want is to do it where if we click on the area, yes, we do. But let's do it this most simplest way for now. Yeah. So what I think we should probably do here is have a like a collision 2D, and when we on basically when we press down, this is going to be with all touches at some point, but for now we're just going to do it with mouse presses. So when we do our touch down and hold it, we want the color to change, and then when we let go, we want the color to stop changing. So the whole idea is that we're going to have a color at the very beginning of the level. You've got to kind of memorize that color. Then you hold down whilst the color changes, and then you let go when you think it's at the color that was kind of originally for the level. That's the basic premise for this section. Okay, so what we're going to do is a simple way. So we're going to do if. So we're only going to do this if we've got input key down. Dot get key down. Key dot. I think is it key? Key dot. Space. Kind of guessing at some of this stuff. And then. So we only want to do that. So we'll set the color. Yeah, that's like the simplest way, I think. Oh, no. Key does not, I've forgotten what it's called now. Do I have? References. Is there a thingy? I thought I'd added a extension that will let you just jump to the Unity documentation. Don't know how it would work. Back to the Unity documentation it is. Nope, nope, nope. Here we go. It takes a well, when dealing with input, it is recommended to use input.get access and input.get one since it allows end users to configure the keys. Okay. Oh, it's key code. Okay, all right. So, oh yeah. All right. Well, we're just gonna go with key codes for now because yeah. Although it is a mobile game, kind of not ready for that yet, and we just want to get this working. So, is that gonna work? Field color change dot change color sign, but it's never used. Yes, because we don't use it. Again, we're trying to do this like really incrementally. So we could try and do this now. So we stopped the color when we let go. Oh no, this should work in fact for that. So space. That is not working. Input. If input.get key down key code dot space. Interesting. Nope. Space is not working. That's good. Okay. We'll look at the key down documentation. Turns true during the frame the user starts pressing down. And then you need to call this function from the update function to say each frame will not return true until the user has released the key. Press it again. It will not return. Okay. Maybe this isn't the one that I'm after then. Sensitivity. Tracks is here from you. That's like the input category. Input manager use key refers to any key on a physical list, such as W shift. Yeah, button refers to any button on a physical controller. Is mapped to a control such as button or a key. When the user activates the control, the access receives a value in the range of -1 to 1. That wasn't as useful as I thought. Input. Yep. Put system. This isn't going well. What version am I on here? This is not going well. Let's. What's the best way to do this? Version 1.0. Get key down. Maybe I was on the wrong thing. Let's go back to get key down. This doesn't seem to be the best. Script reference input. You'd think you would leave. Maybe I can go to input here. Does it give a list of? Yes. Get button down. Touches, touch count. What's virtual button identified? Get key down. Returns true during the frame the user starts pressing down. Starts pressing down. So it's just get key. Wow, after all that, it's just get key. So get key down is only returns true on the time that. So I probably was changing the hue. I should have checked that actually. I bet the hue was changing from 0, but only by 0.001 or something. Yeah, there we go. And I let go, it stops. Perfect. Well, that's that bit done. Okay. Awesome. All right, sweet. So that's that bit. Bit hacky. Not the ideal way. It's using these get keys instead of the virtual input modes, get button or whatever. Or sorry, the string versions where you can assign it to buttons and gestures and all sorts. And we're gonna have to change this to touch input at some point anyway. So, because the idea is that the game will, you'll have probably a section of the screen, maybe the bottom here, which is where you would do your first gesture, which changes the color, and then the rest of the screen is where you would do the rest of kind of the level. To be something else to do, so you're not just waiting for that color to happen. You're also doing something in between to try and get more points, but without losing track of when you need to let go. Because as soon as you let go, that's the level over. Basically, that's the basic premise for the game. So yeah, we'll see how that goes. So that's that bit. Let's go back to our Trello. Start changing color on key down. That threw me off. Key down. So yeah, I think we're done with that. Stop color change on key release. So technically, we've done that too. Oh, and end level. That bit we haven't done. We don't actually have a concept of ending level right now. And that's the other thing is, right, let me just clean this up. Input, yeah, I didn't like how this was before. In fact, I'm gonna spread those out a bit. Change this. I like to have the public ones at the top. And the space between those and that. 0 range, 0 to 1. Change speed. I'm not really sure what we're going to do next, but okay. Let's just have a look at what we changed. Just that script, that's good. Move some stuff about. It's good actually if we do change to use the other input method. In fact, we should probably do that. Maybe that's part of the next bit. Add a new task for that. And yeah, so we're happy with that. Just add that. Yeah. To stop and start. Color change. I'll tell you what, this is getting a bit wordy. To stop, start, color, cycle, on button, press. Okay, that'll do. Oh, took a while. So yeah, cool. Yeah, so we try to keep it incremental changes here. It does mean that some of these, so like for example that one is actually done. Create a HUD for score and level. I feel like that's not quite important right now. Calculate score based on how close the color is. Alright, so there's some pieces missing before we can get to that. One is we have no concept of the starting color. So let's add one of those. No, that's too small for that. What to do next? What to do next? What's the next change? What can we do next? Anyone else got any ideas? So the next pieces here are all to do with like the other part of this game, would you say? Which is kind of like a Fruit Ninja style bit of functionality where you're chopping vegetables up. Oh wow! Hey, you alright? Hey, Jitspo? Is that how I said that? If I said that right? How you doing? You okay? Yeah, yeah. I don't feel that way, but thanks. Thanks for the confidence boost. How are you doing today? So I'll show you guys what I'm working on here. So currently, I mean, we've been working on this 45 minutes or something, 50 minutes. Oh, nice, nice. What stuff are you working on? So we got basically a color changing thing. So I click space and this changes hue. That's all we got so far for this game. Fist of the Forgotten, nice. Oh, and Godot. Ah, I've dabbled with Godot. Yeah, I that was yeah my first attempt. In fact, at this game that I'm making now, my first attempt was in Godot quite a while ago. It's really good. It's just I don't know. It's the documentation side of things that was a little lacking for me, especially when you're new to game dev. I kind of needed as much handholding as possible, and the education and resources for Unity is just so vast that um, on my second attempt at game dev, I thought better to go with that. But yeah, I'll come take a look. I'm always interested in seeing what other people are working on. Okay, so what we got here? So I'd be interested to know what tools you use as well. So I've been sticking with Trello just for like work item tracking purely because it's just so minimal. There's not a lot of overhead with it. Um, and then I've been using Krita for the 2D artwork, although it's very lacking. Dev artwork is awful, or my dev artwork is awful, should I say? Blender for modeling, Krita, and Clip Studio. I've not heard of that one. I'm gonna have to do animations at some point. I'm not sure of that. Notepad for project management. Well, yeah, that's pretty effective. No overhead with that one. So you, the only issue is if you lose your notepad. Yeah, is Clip Studio any good for animations? That's something I don't know. I've never tried in Krita. In fact, I'll give you guys some spoilers on my developer art that I've got so far. So here we go. So this is what I've got in terms of developer art. It's not the best. I've only just about managed to get shadows working. Oh, it does do. Oh, does it? Ah, right, okay. I guess I've got all that to come. I've just been kind of following the GD quest, like YouTube videos and things. There's plenty of them, but just try to get to the basics of Krita and things like that. Okay, right, so what to do next? Yeah, input. I've forgotten where this is now. Project ends, input manager. The text in Unity is really small. Can you just increase that? Jump, fire one. Configure the controls used with the Unity engine. Input API. The new input system package instead. Ooh, have I got that already? Input. New input system which can be used in a more extensible and customizable alternative to Unity Classic. Go on then, let's give that a whirl. Yeah, I'm gonna have to do multi-touch as well with this for the mobile our game, so I thought, yeah, let's see what this does. This new input system. A lot of kind of stop-start going on. Obviously, I'm quite new to Unity, so a lot of documentation reading, but it really is the best way. It's only so far you can get with just watching tutorials and following things on like that. This project is put the native platform backend to the new input system and not enabling the player settings. Oh, no, for now. Custom bindings. Touch demo. Touch samples. I might have to look at that. Math Brainiacs. Well, there's not one here. I could do the things that I need to do in 2D and 3D, but that's about it. Maybe you can help me out. Yeah, I'm alright with some vector maths, but that's about it. Formulas and things, I'm not great with. Okay. I wish I hadn't done this now. I may uninstall that because it's caused a load of issues. Let's just remove that for now. I'll have to look at that new input system thing. Right. Let's clear that. Right. Let's got this running. I really don't know what the next point of call is with this. I could take yeah, I tell you what, I will import that new asset I've got. I say new asset is pretty awful. Let's say this as PNG. And here we go. Oh, struggling. Oh no, that's not it. Projects. Here we are. Assets. Sprites. Oh. Cooking.png. Store metadata. Store alpha definitely. Okay. Alright, sweet. So we got that. Let's see if we can get this imported. It's a new game object. So what we're going to do now is transform this. Oh. Create a new game object. This one. In fact, I'm actually going to make one called background as well. I'm going to rename this. Let's color change. Background. So it's nice when you can spell. And just a renderer. I think maybe this is. Could have just done this. No, that's not the right thing. Can I choose a mesh? No. Can I choose like just a default mesh? Materials, lighting probes. No. Okay, let's go back with the sprite renderer. We'll use that 1x1 sprite that we got. Change that to some suitable color. Let's go with something not too offensive. Yeah. Okay. 100 by 100. There we go. Do that. gonna have to modify this in a second. So now let's add. Gonna add a new little crock pot thing, which is massive. Why is that so big? Right, let's go back to our sprites because that is not mesh type. Tight. Yeah, this is massive. Too much. And it doesn't work like that. Ordering layer. I need to learn these shortcuts. Now I've been in Krita for a while. I've lost all of the shortcuts that I knew for. There we go, like that. Rename. Just that. Background color change. Oh dear, this sprite is not going to work. We have to add a mask or something. Yeah, this isn't going to work. Right, let's just go with that for now. Let's just see what it looks like when I play. Yeah, so this is going to be the basic premise. It's going to be some cooking pot, and there's going to be like a color that you're trying to do. Like basically try to cook it until it gets to a certain color, some sort of soup or something. And then when it gets to that, you have to stop. And depending on how overcooked, undercooked it is, you'll lose points. And whilst that's happening, you will be doing something else. So you'll be holding this, so that's changing, and then doing something up here like Fruit Ninja style, doing something, adding ingredients or something to the pot. I had another idea about potentially making that impact how quickly it cooks, but I'm not sure on that yet. That's probably kind of a future thing. Okay. I'm gonna have to create a sprite, I think, here that's gonna fit better in that pot. Yeah, it's gonna have to be done. Okay. Right. I'm happy with that for now, though. Right. So we modify the scene a little bit. In fact, what I might do. No, I won't. Oh, I won't do too much now. Let's just see what we've got. Things we've changed. So let me save. Is that updating in here? If I save that, surely there should be some metadata changes to the level scene. Yep. In fact, before I do, let me just assets, scenes. What? There's no difference. Why is there no difference? What is this on about? File, save. Surely there's. Maybe it's the meta I need to change. I need to look at, not the actual. Yes, that makes sense. Dot meta. Nope. Okay. Added components, background. Oh, yeah, so the changes are there. It's weird they wouldn't let me diff beforehand. It's a bit strange. Anywho, right. All right, sweet. Okay. In fact, I should. That's gonna bug me. Can you warp? Mask interaction. Visible inside mask. Oh, wrong one. Color change. But what is the mask? How do you set the mask? Oh, I just set as none. Mask 2D. Spray mask. Custom range. Can I do that? And then if I do, where's it gone? Mask visible inside mask. No. Okay, let's not mess around with things that I don't have a clue how they work. Let's just remove that for now. Right, I think there's a little bit more learning I need to do around this now, especially around the touches and the input systems before I carry on any further, I think. All right, okay. I think I'm going to call it a day here. Yeah, I think we make good progress there. Obviously, it's not a great deal that's actually working at the moment. But in terms of the actual mechanics and the gameplay, that is a lot of it already. That's like one half. Obviously, there's cleanup to do with tidying up this sprite. But in terms of the mechanics, that is a lot of it. Just changing the color and it's stopping when you let go. So what I need to do is just spend some time adding some different work items to this and kind of try to break it down a little further, because I think some of these are just far too high level. And a lot of these require me to have already done the artwork as well, like some of the slicing functionality with the visuals. A spawner I could probably do, but I don't actually have a sprite to spawn yet. I think I might just get one image of a piece of vegetable or a fruit or something and just start with that. There's a lot of reading I need to do, I think, on this, particularly in the Unity docs on how to do things. So yeah, I'll have to do that. Anyway, thanks for joining, guys. Cheers for the raid, Jits Bowie. And yeah, I'll check out your game, man. Definitely need to share the GameDev love. Anyway, thanks for joining, guys. I'll see you in a bit. Bye.